So it's true. I love you. You're perfect. Now dang it, change. And I don't mean that from a place that you aren't perfect. I mean that from a place of I want to see more of you. That place that you judge as that place of imperfection. I want to see the snotty-nosed part of you. I want to see the temper tantrums in you. I also want to see the side of you that most of us strive for. This side full of love, happiness, and joy. I stole this title, and a lot of my talk is I've liberated from many of my teachers. But I stole this title because Tina and I have Stage West tickets, and it was the title of a play. And it was a comedy, because you can imagine people going about that they love this person, but it's an entire comedy and all the farcical things that are going on for people to change. But I thought for today's talk, because we're doing the passion test after, it is so relevant that we love each other so much. And yes, we accept you and for your perfection as you are here and now. But I know deep in my heart, I want to see the best version of you. I want to see the version of you that's willing to be real, authentic, however that shows up. And yes, sometimes that's not the most positive side of you, but that's you. And yet, from a personal point of view, what I've discovered is our greatest desire, one of our greatest needs, is to be seen. But the duality of that is one of our greatest fears, is that you absolutely see me for who I am. I don't know about you, but anyone relate to that? That I want you to love me, but no, it's not so good. So in order for me to speak today, I needed to go to a place, I chose to go to a place that I don't normally share. Most of you know me as the comedian. Most of you know me as the guy that has the fastest things to say. But that's only a small part of me. Most of you don't know that at the age of 13, I knew God existed, and I knew my version of God has never changed in the 44 years since then. Not one, because I absolutely knew. But I didn't know how to articulate it. I had no idea. So go back to the mid-70s, where there was no Google, you had to go to your encyclopedia. And you had to go to the known experts on religion. Your priest, your rabbi, your pastor. So as a 13-year-old kid, tell me about God! Well, when you ask why anybody have children here and they get tired of being, why? And the answers you eventually come up to, just because. Just because. So I can say without a doubt that I was asked not to come back to quite a few spiritual centers, because I asked too many darn whys. And my mother, bless her soul, was always the adventurer. My dad, somewhat reluctantly, would just say, okay, I'll drive you somewhere else this time, because at 13 he either walked or drove. So I discovered God. But at the same time, I also discovered that as a young man, I was fairly charismatic. And I could use my charisma for the side of good, or I could use it for the dark side. I love Star Wars and the analogy. Anybody watch Star Wars, any of it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you can be my friends. If you haven't, I suggest you go to the first Star Wars and look at it from a place of just what it means, the spiritual messages. And I actually, for all of my talks, I always come back to these crazy 5 principles to make sure that what I'm trying to teach, trying to share and impart with you doesn't violate the 5 principles. Because sometimes how I articulate things may not stand the test of time. I'm moving off here. And it says here, God the good. And I stumbled. And I still stumble. God the good. Because I'm using my Star Wars analogy. We have the dark side, and we have the light side. So if we put God in the middle, is not God neutral? And I went, I don't know. And then I'm like, I am open to God the good. But I personally am not open to God, the dark side. But I recognize that inside of me, that there is this dark side. And I recognize that there is this good side in me. And thank goodness, as a young 13-year-old boy that discovered the power of manipulation, that discovered the power. It's like, I am not the most handsome young man. But damn it, I was a fast talker and a sweet talker.
Yep.
So the virtues of many girls could have been compromised because I could talk. But thank goodness that your environment helps create you. The people that I hung out with were honest, good, decent people. So when I would go down the path of the dark side, I could have turned out as Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, but instead, in my mind, and my ego says, that I turned out much like Luke Skywalker. But I really think Rey from the newest Star Wars, she's really cool, so I'd sooner be in her, but that's okay, because Luke turned out just to be a grumpy old man. So I'm not big on that. So I learned that there's this balance, and it's this inner war that we all go through in our spiritual journey. And I know, because you're here, that you're on this side. This is the path you're choosing. And I love and honor that about you. But I still want you to change. I still want to see the perfection in you. I want to be part of that perfection. Because really, if you're perfect, we're like our 10 best friends. So if you're perfect, well, thank you very much. That means I'm perfect. And if I'm willing to change, and you're supporting me in this change, then change is good. So I'm going to fast forward to here and now. So I'm 57 years old, so I learned a few things because I knew God existed very early. So I didn't have to fight with that question. So I knew that there was one universal energy. But I knew we were all in duality. The yin, the yang, the right, the wrong, the good and evil. And then I could easily, using Star Wars again, that the dark side puts us on the side of fear. And the light side puts us on the side of love. And we're controlled by 2 emotions. If we distill it down to the simplest form, we're either controlled by fear or love, but I'll make it even easier. So we either move to love or away from love. And it's not intentional, because our flight and fight mechanisms are so fast that it's our desire to protect ourselves is there, just like that. So we're either moving to love or away from love. So I'm asking you to move to love, because if we ask people to sing a cappella, And if you've never done it before, the fear mechanism and the flight mechanism just kicks in. Or if Flo comes up to you and says, hey, come learn how to do comedy, one might be, oh my gosh. But if you've done it and you practice that muscle, it's diminished. And so this is why I think we need to practice more love. This is why I believe, and I hope you do too, that we need to bring more love into our life. We need to embody it. And then that's where we naturally sit and rest. I'm going to steal from Bray Attwood. So as we go forward, and I'm asking you to change, we sometimes go, well, it's selfish, it's greedy, it's not good. But I go, what you want and what God's will for you are one of the same. What you want from this place of not selfishness, but from your higher self, of what you want is God's will. He wants the same, he or she, however you define it, however you define God, wants the same thing for you. It's that simple. So if you want to change, recognize from this place of a higher being, God wants you to change too. God wants you to fulfill your desires, your destiny. And anyone that knows me, that if I have a dream, I have a desire, knows that the next part of it is divine timing and I do not go together very well. I want it now. I want immediate gratification. And this concept of divine timing is like, there's a whole bunch of colorful words that I would like to use. And it's not family friendly, it's not PG-13, and Facebook would not allow it. And our poor Facebook account would take a hit. Divine timing is there. But I don't like it. And it's a lesson that I need to learn. It's a lesson I am learning. But in divine timing, I ask you just to be open to the possibilities. Open to this possibility. Think back to a time when you were in grade school. A time you were feeling alone. You said, I sure wish I had some friends. I really wish I had a community that cared and loved for me. Who's to say you sitting right here and right now is not divine timing, that is fulfilling a need, a want, a wish that you had from God. And your bum is sitting in this seat through divine timing. Driving here today was not a perfect example of divine timing because we had a few hiccups, we forgot things at home, so it was perfect. I love you. You're perfect. Now change. Not because I ask you, not because I want you to, but I suspect every single person here's soul is craving to be a better version. And not from an egoic place, but from a place of you know you can love more, you can be more patient, you can be a better friend, and you can be better to yourself. You can be more forgiving to yourself. So I'd like to remind you, you are loved, You are enough. You are a good person. You matter to the world. You are amazing. You are worthy of all your dreams. You deserve your own version of success. You are perfect, and you make a difference. I read a book called The Rhythm of Life from an Australian by the name of Mathew. And he came up with 7 dreams, and I absolutely thought they were phenomenal, and I thought that I would share them with you. My first dream for you is that you have complete control over your mental and physical faculties, and that you are a slave neither to food nor drink nor any substance. I dream that you'll be free, that you have freedom in the truest sense of the word, strength of character to do what is right in every situation. I have a dream for you, that you are able to discern the people, activities, and possessions that are most important to you, and that you are able to give each of them their time and place according to their appropriate priority. I have a dream for you, that you have the courage, determination, and firmness, and persistence to perform the task you choose, decide, and resolve to perform, that you perform them with a commitment to excellence and attention to detail. I have a dream for you, that you discover a unique talent that leads you to dedicate the professional aspect of your life to some work that you can be passionate about. Whoa. I dream that you may enjoy the rare privilege of spending your days in meaningful work, that you serve your neighbor, your family, and your community in the occupation that by it you are able to provide your temporal needs. I have a dream for you, that you grow in wealth in every sense of the word, that you're never in need, and that whatever your wealth is, you share it with all that you can. That you find true love, someone you can cherish, someone who makes you want to be a better person, a soulmate who can challenge you and love you, a champion who can walk with you, know you, share your joy, and perceive your pain and heartache, and who can comfort you in your disappointments. The 7th dream, I have a dream for you, that you discover a deep and aspiring inner peace. The peace that comes from knowing that who you are, where you are, and what you do is essentially good and makes sense. That you are contributing to the happiness of others, and that you are progressing towards becoming the best version of yourself. Those are my dreams for you. From my heart to yours.